Today we're going to talk about two critical factors that can make or break your product launch timeline and budget, the MOQs and the lead times. If you have already reached out to manufacturers, you have probably heard those terms. MOQ stands for minimal order quantity, and lead times is how much it takes from placing your order to receiving your finished product. In this video, we will break down what MOQs really mean for your business, how to navigate time realistically, and how to plan your time accordingly. So as I say, MOQ is the minimum quantity that your manufacturer will produce in one single run. And MOQs exist because the manufacturers need to cover their setup costs. For cosmetic products, MOQs usually range from 1,000 to 5,000 units for mainstream manufacturers, 500 to 1,000 for small batch manufacturers, and 100 to 3,000 units for specialty micro manufacturers. But of course, this number varies depending on the type of product. It's different if you want to develop a serum or a cream or a lotion. The complexity of the packaging and of course the manufacturing size. If it's a big facility, well, there are probably mainstream manufacturers. Remember that lower MOQs usually means higher costs per unit. And this is a trade-off that you will need to consider when you are doing your business plan. Here are some advice in order to navigate the MOQs. Of course, it really depends on your business plan. But if you are a startup, it may be a good idea to start with one or two products and not thinking to launch on the first try a full line of products. This way you will be able to concentrate your budget and inventory, and it will be a much easier way to start your brand journey. You can consider private labeling for your initial launch. Many private label manufacturers offer MOQs between 100 to 500 units. You can also look for manufacturers that specialize in indie brands. They are often more flexible regarding MOQs than mainstream manufacturers or small batches manufacturers. You can still ask for the MOQs to be spread across different SKUs. For example, some manufacturers may let you split the MOQs because the different products have similar ingredients or similar processes. You can also try to negotiate long-term plans. If you share your growth strategy with your manufacturer and it makes sense for them, they can maybe lower the initial MOQs for you because in the future you may place bigger orders. If you start to talk with a manufacturer and they don't have any MOQs, maybe that means that there are hidden costs somewhere or that can signal quality or operating issues. Now let's talk about lead times. For cosmetic products, typical lead times include the sourcing of the raw materials, 2 to 8 weeks. It depends, of course, on the type of raw materials that you are looking for because typical ingredients are usually in stock. But if you have natural or really specific ingredients that are quite rare, that may take longer to source. The production times is around 4 to 8 weeks. This includes the formulation, the batch preparation, the filling, and the quality control. Regarding the packaging production, it's around 6 to 12 weeks. Again, there is a lot of private label manufacturers with standard packaging. It will just need to put your brand and your information on the package. And the tasting time is between 1 to 4 weeks. This tasting time is for the stability, the preservation, and other safety testing that are a non-negotiable. And then you have the shipping and the logistic, let's say 1 to 3 weeks. So yes, the weeks add up, and the total lead time is between 3 to 6 months to complete the project from order placed to the delivery. And of course, if you have more money, there is sometimes the possibility to have a premium delivery to fast track your project. Now, how to plan for lead times in order to save a lot of time from the get-go. It may be a good idea to start with the packaging decision, because if you want a really specific packaging, it can take a long time to deliver. Then what you can do is to create a backward timeline. If you want to launch, for example, in December, you may need to place your order in June or July. It's great to map that visually. Maybe you can do a vision board for your cosmetic product in order to have a realistic view of the entire timeline. Build in buffer time. Always add 2 to 4 weeks of buffer for any unexpected delay. I mean, manufacturers are not robots, even if they use some. Surprise can happen. Ingredients can become unavailable. Ingredients can turn bad for some reason. I don't know. Or formulation may need to be tweaked, or shipping gets delayed. Communicate regularly with your manufacturer. Don't assume that everything is going well just because you don't have any news. And of course, plan your marketing around all the timeline that you have evaluated. Don't tease with a product launch date if you are not sure how long your manufacturer will take to deliver your order. Keep track of everything. Keep detailed records about all agreements regarding the quantities, the process procedures, the method, the quality control, timelines, the specification, everything. I mentioned earlier the private label manufacturers, you know, when I talked about navigating the MOQs. There is a big difference between the private label manufacturers and the contract manufacturers. If you want to know more about that, you can click on this video.